Lethargic Sloth here, and it's time to talk about Malta. I should be sleeping right now, but I was up watching the Malta final. I'm getting really into these national finals, so maybe even next year I'll start doing videos earlier so I can comment about some of these national finals. They're really quite interesting. Anyways, the song by Malta this year, or representing Malta, will be Taboo, sung by Christabelle. If I had to describe this song in one word, it would be wild. And that's more referring to just the musical mix and the beats and everything. It's just kind of a wild song. I was actually going to use crazy, but being that the song's meaning and intention, I thought that might not be the best word to use in order to describe this song. But I try to come up with the first thing that pops into my mind, and actually, wild was it. So before I get into the review portion, I want to explain what the song is about, because just listening to it up front, I didn't really understand it per se the first listen, so I wanted to look up some background information, so I made sure I understood what the lyrics meant to the artist. So this is Christabelle being asked about what the song is about, and here is her response. Quote, "The lyrics are by myself and Mushu, and the music is by Thomas Gieson and Johnny Sanchez, or Thomas Gayson. He's got his hands all over a whole lot of songs at Eurovision. The song is called Taboo, and it's an incredibly personal one for me, both because of what I have been through as an individual in my private life, and because it addresses something that is very close to my heart. The song's message is that we should be open about discussing mental illness and in offering help, rather than judgment, to those suffering from it. We need to change the way we talk about mental illness and encourage those who need to help speak up. But it's only by working together that we can break this taboo. So in a nutshell, with Taboo, I set out to raise awareness about mental health. So it's a song about something very important that affects a lot of people. So what's good about this song? First off, it's a wonderful message about mental health. There is a stigma out there about people with mental health problems, and it's nice to see a song giving awareness to this. If anything, I am for causes that help people, not those that help some and hurt others, like a song that I mentioned in a previous review. Christabelle is a very strong singer and will have no problem with the live vocals. I really love her voice and her tone, and I think it's going to carry over very well on the big stage. I do enjoy many of the lyrics as well. Quote, "You see my life through foreign eyes," unquote, is one lyric that I can really appreciate. You may see my life, but you're not me. You don't know or understand what I'm going through. There are a lot of other clever lines in the song, and I love that Christabelle wrote a lot of her own lyrics. We have a big trend of that this year, people writing their own songs. I really love that about 2018. So what are some of the problem areas of the song? Taboo is a deeply personal song to the singer, but the music sometimes overpowers the lyrics, and I just don't know if the message gets across because of the way in which it's presented. There's too much going on in the song, too many moving parts. So I don't know that people are going to be listening and paying attention to the words. They may focus too much on the sounds and the background noise, so to speak. At least that's how it feels to me. The music is distracting rather than helping to move the story along. On the other hand, I do appreciate the presentation of mental health compared to last year's with Iceland. I like this presentation better, although the music sometimes can overpower it and change the focus on it. So I don't know if that's going to hurt it as far as jury votes go, but we'll see. The dubstep feels, well, unnecessary as far as the song goes. It feels like it's a song that builds and builds and is starting to really build into something, but when you're waiting for that big high point, it just doesn't happen. It's like a volcano heading for an eruption, and at the end of it, rather than that big explosion, you just get a puff of smoke at the end. So it's an enjoyable song, but it's not without its weaknesses as well. As far as my rating for the song goes, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5, but I reserve the right to change it later on because it might go up, probably won't go down, but I'm still at that point where I'm not sure if I like it or love it, but it's more lukewarm than just a straight up, oh, I'm crazy about this song. So I really have to gauge it and see where it's going to head and what direction. This might be one that changes drastically, but I think a 7.5 for right now, just on the first introduction to it, is quite fair, and we'll see where it goes from there as far as the Eurovision pre-concerts, see if the live shows change anything. So is this song a contender or a pretender? I honestly have to say I don't feel like it's a winning song. Malta has a hard enough time qualifying even with a brilliant song. And when I say that, I'm thinking of 2015. I thought Warrior by Malta was one of the best songs in the competition, and it got 11th in the semifinals. So even when they have just an amazing song, if they have an incredible, amazing, crazy song like Tomorrow from Gianluca, they pass. But this song is a good song, but is a great song. It kind of depends on the audience. So I think it's going to have a little bit of trouble qualifying, but we still have to see what other songs are out there. Maybe it will. The message is wonderful, and if people can appreciate that, maybe people will vote for it. Are there going to be enough people that like the sound? So it's one of those that requires a lot of thinking ahead of time, and you really have to see some of the other entries to be able to say whether it's going to qualify or not. But I'm going to say it's going to have a hard time qualifying. Doesn't mean it can't, but I'll also say that I do not feel like this overall is a winning song. It's not a bad song, and it's different. It's going to stand out, but I don't see it winning. Malta is one of those countries that I really love at Eurovision. I always feel they're very classy and just come out with something that sounds very interesting, and I personally love them. I feel like they're incredibly overrated as a country at Eurovision. I absolutely loved, as I mentioned, Amber with Warrior in 2015. That was in my top three, actually behind Italy and Estonia. But then 2016, I really enjoyed Walk on Water with Ira Lasco. That was in my top 10. And then last year with Breathlessly, Claudia Fagnello, I loved it. I raved about it all Eurovision season. So Taboo is not a disappointment. It is actually probably my least favorite Maltese song of the past 5 or 6 years, but it's not bad. It's still a good, solid entry, so I'm not disappointed with Malta at all. I actually think it's a great entry, and I love the intent behind it. We'll see. I think it has a chance to do well, but we're going to have to see how the season unwinds. Thank you for watching my review of Malta at Eurovision 2018. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoy the video and the reviews. And keep an eye out for my new rankings tomorrow. Once we get over 10 songs in there, I'll start doing your rankings versus my rankings. So we'll mess with that every week up until Eurovision. So please subscribe so you can see those videos coming out. And a lot more to come. Eurovision season 2018 is underway. Lethargic Sloth, out.